Hey there YouTube, this is Sign 18 coming with you a deck profile from out of the Silver Dust Blaze. Today this is OTT, this is the Goddess of the Sun Amaterasu budget deck. Um, this deck is very strong, it's very similar to the Susanoo deck, but with a bit of its own flavor and functionality. The main purpose of this deck is to trigger off Goddess of the Sun Amaterasu as much as possible. So let's see how we get that done. As always, we're going to start with the starter. We're running Solar Maiden Uzumi. The new starter out of the Silver Dust Blaze for OTT. Has the errata text and everything like that. Same skill as all the V starters. When rolled upon, draw one card. Next, we're going to go into the grade 3s. We're playing 4 copies of Goddess of the Sun Amaterasu. Her skill is deck skill. Once she's revealed from the top of the deck, you can bind the top card of the deck to give you Vanguard plus 10k and 1 crit. Then she has a Vanguard rearguard skill, which says when she attacks. Doesn't have to attack the Vanguard, just when she attacks. Discard 1 card, check the top 3 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 normal unit from among them, put it into your hand, put the other 2 back on top of your deck in any order. So, as you can see, just with her skill alone, you can activate her own skill from the deck if she is the top card of your deck. But she's not alone in this aspect, as there are a bunch of other cards that can check and reveal the top card of your deck to also trigger this. Okay, the next card we go into this is from United Q4, all the way back at the beginning of the reboot of the year, CEO Amaterasu. Simple skill. Once returned on the Vanguard circle, she can counterblast 1 to draw a card and check the top card of the deck, and then put that card back on top or bottom of the deck. Then her Vanguard rearguard skill, which is the auto ability, every time a card is checked, revealed, or shown, she gains plus 5k power. So as you can see, just how Goddess of the Sun's first skill can be successfully activated by her second ability. The same thing with CEO. Her second ability can be activated by her first ability. So that's how these two can work very well together. The last grade 3 that we play is 2 copies of Victorious Dare. Also a card that came back in the beginning of Unite Q4. Dare is your finishing card. Simple skill, Vanguard or Rearguard. You must remember that because a lot of people, including myself, has always forgotten to do that. That here is a Vanguard and Rearguard skill. Soul Blast 2 grade 3. So this is going to be more towards your end game. Check the top 7 cards of your deck. So again, you're affiliating CEO skill. Look for 2 critical triggers. Show them to your opponent. Shuffle the rest of the cards to the bottom of the deck. And then add those 2 critical triggers back on top of your deck. Then give everything on your board plus 10k. So he is a deck stacker, a buff to the field, and he also can help CEO activate a skill to give her even more power. That's it for the grade 3s. Next we're going to go to the grade 2s. Here's a lot. So another card that came out of the Silver Dust Blaze. Diviner Kurukishiki. Let me know if I mispronounced that down in the chat. Kurishiki says that on Vanguard or Rearguard, once per turn, Soul Blast 1, reveal the top card of your deck. If that unit is a normal unit, he gains plus 6k. But if that revealed card is a trigger unit, activate that trigger and then add the card to your hand. So whether it's a normal unit or a trigger unit, you're still going to add the card to your hand. But you gain power if it's normal, but you also gain that trigger effect and the power of the trigger if it is a trigger unit. Very good way to get your crits off early, pump up your hand early. He's similar to Uratar in Gear Chronicle as in terms of it's a pseudo twin drive because you're getting a card added to your hand before he attacks, and he still gets to do his drive check during his battle step. So very good card, very good utilized card in my opinion. The next grade 2 that we play is another card that came out of Unite Q4. As you can see, that's going to be a running trait in this deck profile. There's a lot of cards that came out of the Silver Displays, but also a lot of cards that came out of the Unite Q4. One of those cards, as you can see, is Maiden of Libra. She's another ride target if you can't get into the Diviner Kushikishi. Maiden of Libra says on Vanguard or Vanguard, after the battle that she was boosted, Counterblast 1 to draw cards. This is a part of your draw engine. To be really honest, she is the draw engine. Then she has another skill. Once per turn, you can discard one card from her hand to give her plus 10k. So besides being a draw engine, she can also be a very good beat stick. Now the last grade 2 that we play is another card that came out of Unite Q4. Battle Sister Chocolate. So this ties into the Goddess of the Sun playstyle, where you want to activate this skill to trigger off Goddess of the Sun. So Chocolate skill says Vanguard or Vanguard, which is another good ride target. Soul Blast 1. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Reveal up to 1 grade 3 from among them. Shuffle the rest back to your deck. And then put that grade 3 on top of your deck and she gains plus 5. So the idea is to check top 5. Look for Goddess of the Sun. Reveal her. Because you revealed her from the deck, her skill activates. Bind her. Give the Vanguard plus 10k. So your Vanguard just gained 15k in a crit. Very good way to start. Very good way to start your grade 2 turn off. That's it for the grade 2s. Going into the grade 1s. We play 4 copies of Miko of Elegance Fumito. She's the grade 1 variant to Chocolate. Same skill. It just difference is the power level. Instead of getting 5k, she gains 2k, making her a 10k booster. So she has the very same skill. Mind you, it's a Vanguard Rearguard skill. So you can go plus 10, well, plus 12 in a crit on your first ride turn if you get Goddess of the Sun off of her check. So you, in retrospect with this deck, you can go grade 1, 10k in a crit, grade 2, 10k in a crit. So your opponents, by the time you're already at grade 3, your opponent's already at 4 damage, and at the brink of losing the game by the time you even hit grade 3. The next card we play is another card out of the Unite Q4, the staple, one of the most stable cards in the deck. Oracle Guardian Nike. He is your counter charger. So he says if you have 3 more damage and that Oracle Think Tank Vanguard, put him to the soul, counter charge 1. You need your counter charge in this deck, and you need your soul. So be wary of how you use your counter blast and soul blast. The last card we play is another card out of Q4, a very old card that no one ever thought would ever see the light of day again. Petal Fairy. So Petal Fairy says, Act skill, put her into the soul. Check the top card of your deck. Put that card on top or bottom of your deck. Very simple, but very powerful for many reasons. Because it activates CEO Amaterasu School, it stacks the top of your deck. She affiliates to put cards into your soul. Put herself in soul to add more cards to your soul. She does everything that the deck wants to do, all for just one very simple skill. Now you may be wondering, so you're doing all this checking, you're doing all of this stuff. CEO must not be the only card that you want on top of your deck, and you're right. So within this deck, we're playing 4 copies of Divine Sword Kushukige, which is your Sentinel crit. Alongside of that, we're also playing the 4 Battle Maiden crit, 4 Psychic Bird crit, and the 4 of the Battle Maiden heal trigger. So this is a 12 crit 4 heal build. You could throw some draws in here to get more cards in your hand, but you should be, if you're playing right and playing reservatively, you should have enough cards in your hand to do a lot of guarding with during your opponent's turn. But you want to end the game as fast as possible. Yes, it's good to activate Goddess of the Sun, Amaterasu, to get that extra 10k crit, but you want to use the grade 2 Diviner, other cards to put these critical triggers on top of your cards. Have Deer, so every time you're checking the top 7, you are more likely to hit critical triggers. You want to get these critical triggers on top of your deck as quickly and soon as possible to end your opponent as fast as possible. Okay, so that with that being the deck, I'm gonna show you a few lines of plays that you can do. This deck is a Protect 1 deck. You could go Protect 2, but it is not in your best interest to go Protect 2. For the simple fact of the matter is that you are going to want to completely outright defend sometimes your opponent's Vanguard attack, and because we're running the crit Sentinels instead of the draw PGs, you're going to want as much chance as to stop an attack in its tracks. Okay, so with the deck shuffled up, let me show you what a few things you can do. So you would draw 5 cards off the top of your deck, right? And we'll keep that. That's a good hand. So first I would ride Pedal Fairy. We'll draw for turn. Let's say your opponent goes, you take your opponent's attack. No trigger. That goes there. Your turn again, we draw. We ride into Battle Sister Chocolate. Soul Blast 1. Check the top 5 cards of the deck. Okay. We found CEO. Put the other cards to the bottom of the deck. She goes to the top of the deck. And then let's say we want to do it again because we didn't get the right CEO. So we're going to go into another Chocolate, just Soul Blast again. Check top 5. And this time we hit the right CEO. We hit the right Amaterasu, my bad. So we do the same skill again. Cards to the bottom of the deck. Now, because CEO was the top card, both Chocolates will gain +5. But CEO will bind herself and then give the Vanguard plus 10k an additional crit. This is where you want to be on your grade 2 turn. And let's just say for extra, so you also want to affiliate the soul back, play Pedal Fairy, put the card into the soul, check the top card of the deck. You want to keep that there. But if you were to put the cards to the bottom of the deck, we could have gave the other Chocolate another +5, or gave the Vanguard a +5, but we want to keep that card on top. And you'll see why in a minute. So we attack with the Vanguard, drive trigger check. We got a heal trigger. So now the Vanguard's power goes up. Could go up by another 10. We will heal. Or you could have gave the rear guard the +10k to make both counts. Then it all depends on how your opponent guarded. And that's just your grade 2 turn. You would attack here, right? Then your opponent will go. Most likely will attack the Vanguard again. Another heal trigger, so another power to the Vanguard. Let's say he ended his turn there. So you stand, draw, riding the CEO, gain a protect marker, activate CEO skill to counterblast 1, to draw 1, to check the top card of the deck. We'll keep that card on top of the deck. Because you checked, CEO just got +5. Then I would go into... Actually, I would just leave it there because we know what card is on top of the deck. We don't want to erase that. So then we would just go 17 to the Vanguard, depending on how they guard it. Drive check 1. Let's say they perfect guarded the Vanguard or guarded more. We would give 10k to the rear, critical to the rear, second check, right? And then my rear guard is swinging for 19 in the crit. The idea is to pressure your opponent as much as possible with critical triggers. To have them waste cards because they don't know what's on top of your deck. Most times or not, you're going to know what the top 3 cards of your deck is going to be. Stuff like that. Top 2 cards. Top 1 card. The point of this deck is for you to have as much knowledge as possible, and your opponent to have absolutely no knowledge whatsoever. So, that's a little bit of what you can do with this deck, what you can see from this deck, and what you can expect from this deck. Now, this deck is very cheap, like a lot of cards that came out of the Silver Dust Blaze are. It's not very expensive. I would say it's under $30 to build. The critical triggers, the Nintendo critical triggers are about $1 each, $1.25 each. A lot of the cards have been reprinted, or they come from such an old set that people thought they'll never see the light of day, so they're not looking at them. Goddess of the Sun herself is only about $5. So $20, you have all 3 of your boss monster. So with that is the deck profile. Let me know if you have any questions down below. Please subscribe. Please hit that like button. We really would like you guys to hit the like buttons on these videos. The more likes we get, the better that we have a chance of other people seeing this, seeing my content. Please share the video. Show as many of your friends as possible. Like if you have a friend who wants to get into the game but doesn't like the how can I say this? Doesn't like the trial decks that are available, but wants to get into the game but not spending so much money on it. My videos are perfect for that, because these are decks that are easy to use, inexpensive to buy, and like I said, they don't like the trial decks that are available. These are the next best options in my opinion. So like I said before, thank you for watching this video. Please leave a like. Please subscribe. Please hit that bell button, so whenever I upload any more videos, you'll know exactly when they're coming. And as always, see you later.